shit. That shit. Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated. Get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, am I starting the show, Jim?
You are, my man.
Welcome to Pop Sports Radio. This is the Loshak in the Bag show. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. I'm live from Vegas, and I was hoping to get the outside, the beautiful view as my background, but then there's no lighting in the front. Lighting always gets you, Jimmy the Bag, right? That separates the professionals from the people who really have no idea what they're doing, which is what I am when it comes to making videos, setting them up, at least as lighting is concerned. So this is the background, but trust me, the view is dope, right?
It was a gorgeous view, but we'd rather see your face than the Las Vegas Strip. What casino are you at? Let them know where you're at.
Oh, I'm at Caesar's Palace. You know all it, right? Look at all that. Look at this shit. I got fucking drink tickets here. Look, I got all of this shit here, right? I got chips and shit. Yeah, everything. With Vegas. You know what this is all about, Jimmy the Bag. Vegas. You love Vegas, right, Jim?
I fucking love Vegas. My parents met in Vegas.
No. Oh, shit. Yeah, wow.
At the Las Vegas Hilton.
Hell yeah.
Back in the day. I fucking love Vegas. I wish I was there with you guys right now. We have another squad roll. So we have the Daily Sesh show being shot live in Vegas right now. And then we have another group rolling in, right? The Big Ragu, Dommy Gun, Ricci, Tease. They're all rolling in today?
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I mean, I got to leave. Wait, so the Daily Sesh show is shooting right now?
Yeah, just shooting. They shot at the Palms yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they'll be shooting tonight. I'm not sure if they'll be at the Palms again, but yeah, they're live. There's a new time for the Daily Sesh now, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. New time.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit. I'm just getting myself all set up here again. Shout out to all low baggers, Jimmy the Bag. How's baseball going for you right now?
I'm on just a huge second half run. Half run on Friday. Continued 7-2, and a push plus 4.75 units. So I started the second half. I'll pull it up, but I've gained in 5 days of betting. I've gained just under 14 units.
Holy shit! How you doing that? Listen to Not Flush Allen and Jose Bouquet and everyone. And
the squad, yes. But look at my year-long stats. I'm down 0.30 units. So I'm right. It's been a great second half. I got destroyed on the week before the All-Star break, and but I feel like I'm ready to continue everything we've done. I did take the weekend off from MLB betting, just CFL, so I'm refreshed. I'm ready to attack, and I wish I was in Las Vegas with you guys, though.
Hey, listen, everyone loves Vegas tips, right? And I'm like, I don't have any fucking I don't know any shit about Vegas. I do have one, though. I have one Vegas tip, right? Yeah. When you're at the Caesar Sportsbook, right? Yeah. They hand out the drink tickets just anytime you make a bet. It's not based on how much you bet. So if you bet like $1,000, you'll get 2 drink tickets. Maybe you get 4, depends who's back there. But if you go up there 5 different times, you bet $200 each, you'll get like 15 drink tickets. I didn't realize that. Now I know it. Vegas tip for you here on the Loshak in the Bag show.
It's an important tip. Also, they really reward the thoroughbred gambling. And
really?
Yes, and they give you drink tickets nonstop for betting on horses. And you can bet $5 on a horse and get a drink ticket. So there's a little...
Here you go. Yes, at Caesar Sportsbook, drink for free. Just don't bet all at once. Bet a little, go back. You have 15 free drink tickets in no time.
Yes, I also sit there all day. I'm usually at my most drunk around 5 p.m. That's usually when I'm at my most intoxicated.
And it's good. You could get Heinekens. It's good. Well drinks. You're not going to get premium vodka, but, you get Heinekens.
Yeah, it's we got lots of fun stuff coming from the chat as well. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Now, Jose, our producer, spent the night in Houston for Red Sox Astros, and he was richly rewarded with a 3-2 Red Sox victory. So we are going to be moving throughout the rest of the show without our man Jose. So there will again not be the games underneath. Unfortunately, the games will not be underneath. But we're ready to rock and roll here. We got Viper NB in the house. Viper already making moves. Braves -1.5, Dodgers -1, Astros -1.5. Ooh, Tyler Anderson is not allowed to run in 3 straight starts, so that will be late in our show. But I can understand why Vipe wants to back Tyler Anderson. And the Dodgers, there's Brian Watson ready to rock, liking those plays. G. Martinez also on the Dodgers. Brian Watson says, who's Phillies pitcher? We will break down all those good. Now, it is bullpen day. So it's Nick Nelson. You won't see, there the answer is Nick Nelson. You won't see a lot of Nick Nelson, but you'll see some of Nick Nelson. There's Armchair MMA. Says, looking at Chris Duncan in WDWCS tonight. Line keeps moving in my favor. Thank you, Jay. I did have a great long weekend. Caravana was in town in Toronto. Unfortunately, the highlight of big show for OVO Fest was canceled because Drake got COVID. But our whole street, Jameson, was blocked off to traffic. Just Caravana glory, open boozing, and very, very first time ever there's been attractive women in Parkdale. And it took Caravana. to deliver them.
Wait, are the lowbaggers coming in? Are Big Ragoon people like that coming into Vegas?
They all fly in today. Yes.
Oh, maybe I'll meet up with them tonight. Do they want to do? Where are they meeting up tonight?
They are meeting up at the Orleans.
I will try to make that happen. I'll be in touch with people. And huge shout out to Nut Flush Allen. This time has nothing to do with what a great human being he is, his family, or his handicapping. Just a great guy. He says, did at Peter Loshak have dinner with one of our favorite girls? Yes, I had dinner with Gunn's wife, with Tom Gunn's wife, and it was wonderful. Very sad, but wonderful. And Nutflush Allen was part of that dinner. We took a few pictures for him. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. That was actually the night of the flash flood here in Vegas. We got caught in the flash flood on the way back. It was a wonderful time, wonderful evening. Shout out to Lily Gunn. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we were all so happy that you were out there with Lily Gunn. She's so wonderful. We love Tom Gunn so much.
Wait, so Big Ragu says, hey, B, finally get to meet you, brother. Yeah. Let's get in touch. I'm leaving tomorrow, but let's meet up tonight for at least a little bit.
Yes. Let's get a big get-together with you guys in Vegas this evening. Our man, B-Lab69 in the house. He did give us the Sports Insights record for July. I've had some vets who use Sports Insights and have used them for years say that they track their own best bets. Now, I went over to their best bets, and they do, but best bets at Sports Insights come up throughout the day, sometimes when the lineups come up, sometimes when the market moves so far in one direction. So we need B-Lab doing this because he tracks the full line value on Sports Insights when we're doing the show. So we have less best bets than they have, as they have more that come up later in the day. So yes, and we had some anger, Pete. One capper said that he tailed all the Sports Insights full line values on Thursday. It went 0-3, and I replied, you can't just come in and out whenever you choose this sort of thing. If you do, then sometimes look, I'm 209 and 191 down 0.30 units. If you had tailed me on the week before the All-Star break or one day of that, you'd be very angry, very, very angry. It's hard to just pick and choose when to tail something, but we did get the numbers. So the last 6 full line value spots on Sports Insights all lost. So the July full value ended 9-16. Average line was plus 132, down 4.06 units. So in June, it was up 3.11 units. So it's down a little less than a unit so far. So that's important to keep in mind as we break this down. And thank you, B-Lab, so much for tracking that for us. It means a ton to us. JPZ in the house, ready to get to work. Hope you had a great weekend in San Diego celebrating your birthday. There's our guy Top Set ready to go. Andrew G said lines came out. Speaking of the CFL line, Slatsy, a 4-0 week. I only had a 3-2 week in CFL. I was very wrong. I mean, the Bombers came back in that fourth quarter like it was nothing. And the Lions were just the better team than the Rough Riders. It was 17-4 for the Rough Riders. I was like, and then the better team took over. There is our guy, a puzzler. I got to meet his mom 2 days ago. What a great family, and what a guy Puzzler is, man. Do I love Puzzler? He's asked for something. He wants the Undoing Project, which I'm looking for. I think I know exactly where it is because we're just moving ships all over the place. But I'm going to bring that by to our guy Puzzler in the house. Mike M, Kyle Hitlian ready to go. Serious business. The Gas Report. Danny Lopez says footy action for me today. Benfica -1. Mike M with the pimp slot play today. I've been watching it crush. Bo Jackson, I hope you had an incredible Carabana. Wasn't it nice to see the city celebrating? It just felt good. Felt good after a couple of years of no Carabana. It was so nice to have. And our whole street, man. It was wild. Absolutely wild. Thank you, Bananas and Grapes, calling it the best live capping show in the biz. You're being called Lawyer Loshak by Gas Report.
Hell yeah, lawyer. You mean because of an hour? Yeah, I'm still. I can't believe Jose had Boston yesterday.
I imagine. You know what? I'll find out. He was live at the game. Now, he has a rule about not being allowed to bet sides when Boston is involved. So.
All right. Well, I'm wearing my lucky. It's a vintage Bugle Boy shirt from the '80s. If I have a winning day today, I will wear this every single show until I don't have a winning day. Vintage Bugle Boy from the '80s. We'll pop the collar.
Big Ragu is on his way to the airport right now. There's Sammy Comer with a bunch of action here. PSV Monaco over 2.75. Benfica. I don't know who the hell that is. I'm going to leave it all up. I'm going to leave it all up here for you guys to see. So we've got soccer action. We've got tennis action. I'm going to leave that up here for a little bit. Bo Jackson says, Loshak, you better hit up that Caesar's Palace pool. The pool of the gods. Have you spent any time at the pool of the gods?
No, I have not. I have not spent outside of the pool of the gods. I've been doing other shit, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
I get it.
The pool of the gods. I don't really consider myself yet a god, so I didn't feel it was appropriate for me to be in the
on
pool.
your way. On your way to God status. There's Matty Ice in the house. Great to see you, Matty, my man. And there it is, 4-0. You were absolutely spectacular. And he's going to be, it says, as long as Machochis on the sidelines, I'm betting against the Owls. I believe that is a great way of doing things. Great to have Kyle Hintley back in action. Love the guy. AOD ready to go. Okay, well, it's time to get to work. Shout out to Lucas Ryan. Said, oh, no, not a massive bet, but a terrible cold streak. Let's change that.
Yeah.
Great to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish I could give you all a what's up. You all deserve it. Oh, and City Open this week, says the Gas Report. Let's get that easy cash. All right. Vegas tips or Vegas tits. Some of the same stuff there. We got to get.
Can I do one quick thing? Jimmy Bag.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Jimmy Gomez, and once again, sorry about the birthday pick loser all those weeks ago.
Sticks with you. Eh?
It does. Just that one stuck with me.
Yeah, I get it.
That one hurt. But happy birthday to you anyway, Jimmy Gomez.
Jay Peasy continues he just despises Alex Wood, even at home. When he's been good at home, but not for Peasy. And AOD says family reunion. Raise it. Yes, I am rocking my Pirates hat. Okay. Bo Jackson, we all have been, and we're all getting a little nervous waiting for the Jays to make a move. Sadly, we're not going to have our breaking news from our man Jose, because he's now going to be on his way back to Houston. But it's all good. And there's our guy right there. There he is. Do we get an answer on how much for the 8-year-old Adderall from Turnsey? Turnsey looking for the 8-year-old.
We'll talk about it off camera. We'll talk about it.
Sure. Okay. All right. Let's get to work right now. Thank you guys all for joining us. Oh, and then there's some Bills under 11.5. I saw that plus money. Their schedule is brutal with their road matchups, in my opinion. All right. Damon Santori liking the Bills under 11.5. Pistol Pete, let's get to work. You are coming off a 5-4 Tuesday with us, plus 0.28 units. And we're so close, both of us, to being in the black on a big sample size. I know you are on with your action on the season. And it's tough only being here once a week and having that action count. But
actually, the tougher part is when we do the picks, because a lot of my bets that I like a lot tend to come closer to first pitch after I see the lineups. You know what I mean? And get a better feel for the line movement and everything.
I feel you. I don't like the line movement information at 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I don't care what the public decides to do.
Yes.
And I don't want it to mess up the way I see things from our morning. I really like knowing that the bets that have been made 8 to 24 hours before the game is the sharper bets. So that's all I want to know, Pete. When I do Jose's show and we talk about the line value, the market moves, the only reason why it works is because I already knew what was 8 hours previous.
Right. No, I mean, it's not. There's not some like standard thing that I do where it's like, oh, if it moves in the opposite direction of the public action with a dog, then I pound it or whatever. It's just sort of like looking it over and feeling it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. And Bo Jackson says apparently Noah Syndergaard is on his way to Toronto. There are a couple pitchers that are listed today that are clearly on the block. So we will see if anything moves. Lee Davis says MLB market is so damn efficient, and it's only to get more difficult for us. That's another thing that I've watched Peter do. And you always watch what the successful MLB cappers do. Peter doesn't bet a lot of playoffs, right, Pete? That's when you start.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
In baseball,
yeah.
But like a perfect example of that, Jimmy Bagan, and then we'll go on today's card. But it was on Sunday, the St. Louis Washington game. I kind of wanted to bet Washington, first 5, but I held off, and then there was a weird line movement in St. Louis's favor, kind of late, and that sort of told me to lay off it. Not that that's always some kind of smart thing or that's always correct, but that's just an example of something where there's a line movement like that. Some line movements, just in my experience, are more telling than others, and that's just kind of the kind of thing that, again, I wouldn't act automatically on any move like that, but it helped inform my decision making, and I stayed off it. You know what I mean?
I hear that. I have a friend up here, actually lives in Ottawa, and he on preseason baseball, he's not looking at anything, just the market moves, just the line moves, and as soon as he sees them, he bets blindly. In favor of the market moves. Dennis Garcia joining us. We got Paco Healy in the house, whom we love dearly. Says today we land Soto. Says get your futures in now. Paco Healy thinking that his Padres will pick up Juan Soto. Let's talk about his Padres and get rolling. Game 1 of the double dip. We're going to talk about both of the games in succession here. Now, the game 1 at 4:10 p.m. Eastern. And game 2 is the final game of the night at 10:10 p.m. Eastern. So there's 6 hours in between. But let's start here. And if there are pitching changes as it is a double dip, please let me know. I have Ryan Feltner going up against Yu Darvish here in game 1. Rockies 46-58, 16-31 on the road at the Padres, 58-46. 28-22 at home, Petco Park in San Diego, California. Feltner's last start was June 26th. He went 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, no homers, 2 Ks, 2 walks, and a 6-3 loss at Minnesota, and was sent to the minors. His last appearance was just 3 days ago. He came back after the All-Star break. His last appearance was July 29th. Went 3 1/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks, and a 5-4 loss at home versus the Dodgers. Yu Darvish coming off a strong performance in a 4-3 loss at the Tigers. He's been even better at home than he's been overall. Overall, 3.24 ERA, 0.97 whip, but at home, 5-1, 1.94 ERA, 163 opponent's batting average. Rockies are starting to hit righties. We've been waiting all year. Their average was always decent, but they had no power. They're getting some power of late, 250, 705 OPS overall in the year. Padres still struggle against righties, 238, 688 OPS. Rockies bullpen, 4.57 ERA, 1.39 whip, converted 29 of 39 save opportunities, and they just locked their closer down for 2 more years after this, which was a big surprise. An aging closer who's having an excellent season would have demanded a lot of value on the trade market. They didn't bother trading him. Padres bullpen has been tricky for me to break down. There's our guy, Clint Starr, the diehard MMA podcast, and the taint play of the day is in. Let me just copy and paste this so I ensure that there's our guy, Ick Schnizzle, in the house. Let me just copy and paste this. This is Chicago St. Louis under. I'll go into market while I put this above the game. Pete, what are your feelings here for game 1 of the double dip, Feltner Darvish?
Well, I took a shot with the Colorado first 5 team total under 1.5. Darvish is, very reliable. Colorado, obviously we know what their lineup is, a lot of righties and not particularly, it's just a sort of a no-brainer spot for them. Of course, they could unexpectedly put up 2 in the top of the 3rd, and then you lose. So I bet sized very appropriately, which I do all the time, which is why the losses, I can weather them. But Darvish, very consistent. No reason to not be a believer in him here. And so I did already make that bet Colorado first 5 team total under 1.5. And then Feltner is tough. He's obviously very vulnerable. Definitely capable of strong starts, though, and in fact had a good one at San Diego this year. So I would much prefer Colorado team total under to San Diego as a massive favorite on the first 5, even though Darvish has been so great first 5, and Feltner, is definitely vulnerable. Lean first 5 under for both teams as well, but I definitely bet Colorado first 5 team total under, and I might throw that one on as an official pick. Why not? There's no real reason not to. We can make that official. Let me just do a little line shopping here. Colorado first 5 team total under. I know that a lot of people don't have any book that offers first 5 team totals, which sucks. But you can bet something that's related to that if you want. Yeah, I will take minus 135 current line at Heritage. We'll make that official, Jim.
Minus 135, the current line at Heritage. You have that locked in. First 5 team total under 1.5 for the Rockies.
It's actually minus 145 at Pinnacle, so that's an interesting, nice sign there.
Let's add a couple notes here to all of this. First off, the weather for Game 1, 81 Fahrenheit, so it's hot today in San Diego. And we have news coming in. I believe this is of the breaking news variety. Is it going to tell us that?
Paco Healy says, Pete, is your unit still $1.86 or are we nearing $5 yet? Jimmy the Bag, I miss old school low bag show jokes, inside jokes. Huge shout out to Paco Healy. I miss all that shit, Jimmy the Bag. All the friggin' inside jokes from years ago.
And yes, the deal for Juan Soto to the Padres is almost finalized.
Mm-hmm.
And we expect it to be finalized at any moment. So that was just sent to me here as well. I was hoping I was saying that Syndergaard was now a Blue Jay. But that's okay. Let's talk about a couple more things here. First off, 81 Fahrenheit. So it's hot in San Diego. Much warmer than usual. 10.4 miles per hour left to right across the diamond. It stays around that way. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. There's been just a 10-cent move to the Padres, and the total's gone from 7 to 7.5. So it's now at 7.5 as a pick'em. And then let's see what Sports Insights has to say about this one. Right now, 3,719 tickets in. We don't know how much. We know 87% of the tickets are on the Padres. That's it. 34% of the tickets are on the under, and 94% of cash is on the under. Yeah, it's moved from 7 to 7.5. Very strange. We do have 2 teams that we will be adding to our full line value. We have 2 teams at half line value and then 2 slivers. I'll give you the information now. The full line value teams are the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, no shit. I already bet both of them.
Yeah, perfect. Really? You already bet both of them? Okay,
Yes,
beautiful.
I did, Jimmy the Bag. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're in business here. Okay, well, let's keep rolling. We have a team total under first 5. I do not understand why it's gone from 7 to 7.5 full game. If all the money is coming in on the under. Okay, well, I'm going to I get the lean to the first 5 under, and I also don't understand why you aren't moving on it. I'm going to put a bunch of question marks there. Okay, let's just talk briefly about the second game, as we're already talking about these 2 squads. They are fresh in our minds. And the Tigers team total over 3.5 is a 2-unit play for Matty Ice today. Says Tigers will put up runs today, guys. Ooh-wee.
I have already bet the Tigers team total over and bigger on the first 5 team total over.
And there is our Dabby Cab in the house, coming to us live from Vegas, from the Palms right now. Man, you guys up bright and early, both you guys in Vegas. I love it. Jose Urena going up against Reese Kinnear for the Padres. Now, that could change. Tell me if it has changed. This is the late game at Petco tonight. Jose Urena got touched violently by the Dodgers in his last start. He's had 2 straight starts where he's being touched, where we remember who he was and the reason why he didn't have a job in Major League Baseball for the first half of the year. He did shut down the Dodgers in his first appearance, trying to get a job in the MLB, first appearance this year, and it's come full circle. Reese Kinnear has had 3 appearances in the show this year, all against these Colorado Rockies. In AAA El Paso, I know it's a high offensive league. But he's been atrocious, Pete. 4-4, 6.85 ERA, 1.64 WHIP, 44 walks in 67 innings, and he's allowed 16 home runs in those 67 innings. So I can imagine that this will be a bullpen day, even though he is a starter in AAA. Do you have any? Are you looking for anything in Game 1 before attacking Game 2? Is there anything you think about Urena and Kinnear?
No, I mean, we'll see how Game 1 goes. Is this guy Kinnear? I have no idea who the fuck that is. I have no opinion on Game 2. Let's just move on.
Okay, we will.
Kinnear?
Let me ask about Jose Urena. Is he just back to who we remember him to be, and is he a immediate fade?
No, I mean, obviously, last 2 starts were bad. This is sort of I'll be interested to see how this goes. I have no real opinion on what to expect from Urena going forward. Didn't research him in depth for this game, and we'll see how he does here. Then his next start, maybe I'll look into him more in depth. But for this one, Game 2, probably won't even look at it.
All right, well, let's move this off here, and we are there. Clear a little bit of clarity. Nutflush, we have our man Jose coming back from watching the Red Sox Astros this morning. Well, there you watched them last night, so we won't have games on underneath. So I will let you know that was the double dip for the Rockies Padres. Now we move into the rest of the action. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 41-61, 17-29 on the road at Miami Marlins 47-56, 22-27 at home. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Graham Ashcraft 4-2, 4.64 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, 46 Ks in 66 innings. Allowed just 7 home runs, but he hasn't looked very good of late, and he's looked terrible on the road so far in his young career. 1-1 with a 6.66 ERA, 308 opponent's batting average. Jolton Joe Yurkovich says, I just locked in the Braxton Garrett K-prop over 5.5 at plus 104. Coin is already in the under 7.5 at minus 110. And Kyle Hintlian is on the Miami Marlins here. Okay, so let's talk about Garrett quickly, and then we'll go over a couple more things and then hand it over to Pete. First off, Garrett's only thrown 14 innings at home. So most of his young career has been spent on the road. Overall, 2-4, 3.96 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. In his last start, 5 earned runs, 8 Ks and 1 walk, and a 5-3 loss in Cincinnati. At home, he's a 3.21 ERA and a 2.76 opponent's batting average, although the sample size is very small. Reds versus lefties, they're hitting them. 251, 715 OPS. Marlins' descent statistically against righties continues. Now 243, 694 OPS on the year. Reds bullpen being so bad all year, and the Marlins, which I thought they would have a decent bullpen this year, do not. Both bullpens are fade worthy, except the Marlins bullpen a little stronger than the Reds. Let's go over to the line history and then where the cash lies in this one. And I have not made a bet. I just want to stick with what's working and talk it out with you guys before moving and studying the market movements and things of that nature. Okay, so here we go. Ashcraft, Garrett, we've had a 10-cent move to the Marlins. The first move, though, was to the Reds. Let's come back. So we've had a 10-cent move to the Marlins. From a total perspective, it opened up at 8 and has dropped to 7.5. And that 7.5 is being hammered. When it dropped to 7.5, it was at 9:37 p.m. at minus 110. Now it's at minus 125. So it's a 15-cent move even at the 7.5 number. So let's see. We have 60% of the tickets, 67% of the cash on the Marlins, a 10-cent move towards them. 52% of the tickets, 93% of cash on the over. And the books are sure making it appealing for anyone who wants to bet the over. This is strange and wild. Take it away, Pete. Shine some light, Reds, Marlins.
I was leaning Marlins and under, and I didn't bet Marlins. Line has moved in their favor. I did bet, the under a little bit. And, I think there's, a little bit of value there. Obviously, it's a pitcher-friendly park. Ashcraft has been slumping. Garrett got hit last start at Cincinnati. Think he'll be a little bit better here. People betting props on him to have a good start are probably good. And I have a small play on the under. That's it.
And you probably got in a much better line than is available right now.
Actually, I just bet it just now.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, as soon as I capped the game, I was leaning that way, but I didn't bet it. And then I was like, you know what? I do like it. And I just bet it right now at a shitty number.
Well,
transparency, give me the bag.
Did you get better than the minus 125 being offered at Bet 365?
I got 123.
2 cents better. Huh. And Viper says Marlins can't hit a beach ball. Well, has Ashcraft faced?
Yeah, he faced him last start.
How did he do? He got touched up. I have it right here. Sorry.
I mean, he's been slumping in general, for a while now. After having some nice appearances when he first came up, he was getting a lot of grounders, and I think he will be vulnerable going forward, but not necessarily in this spot. I think this is a good spot for him, and not a studly spot for him, but I don't think he'll get hit too hard. I mean, you look at some of his previous, he went into San Francisco in the middle of his struggles and had a nice start. Had an okay one against the Mets, even at home. I think it's more likely to be a 6-inning, 3-run type start for him. Is
this something that you would like to make official here?
Nah, I'll just hang with my bet.
Under 7.5 minus 115 at Pinnacle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it. You talked me into it. I'll take it. Under 7.5 minus 115. Cincinnati, Miami.
All right, there you have it. Under 7.5 minus 115 for Loshak. I still have yet to move on anything. Let's move to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 57-45, 31-25 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates. 40-62, 21-29 at home at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We will start with the weather over in Pittsburgh. Taking me a second here. 82 Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour out to right center. Dies down to 5.6. And nice and warm, but not too humid there. Let's take a look at the line history in this Pirates Burns Wilson start. Just a 10-cent move to the Brewers. And that happened at 10:07 this morning. So that happened an hour and 30 minutes ago. The first move was towards the Pirates. Then we have a 5-cent move to the over from minus 115 to minus 120. So let's take a look at the cash flow and see if it all relates. We have half line value for Bryce Wilson and the Pittsburgh Pirates. 8% of the tickets are on Bryce Wilson, 17% of the cash. Then 40% of the tickets on the under and 45% of cash. We've seen a 5-cent move to the over. Dabby Cab is locked in his action. Dodgers team total over 4.5 at plus 112. Toronto first 5 minus a half at minus 1 at plus 105, and Padres first 5 minus 1 at minus 110. It says smashing a fat plane as we speak, looking out at Vegas and plotting. I like it, Dabby Cab. Let me just get his action up here so we can discuss it throughout the show. Put it right under Viper's action. Okay, Pete, here we go. Corbin Burns, who has been unbelievable on the road this year. 4-1, 1.57 ERA, 177 opponent's batting average. Coming off an 11 strikeout, 0 walk performance in a 10-4 win at home versus Minnesota. Did allow 3 earned runs in those 6 innings. Going up against Bryce Wilson, who's coming off a quality start in a 4-2 loss at the Cubs. At home, he has an 8.20 ERA on the year, and opponents are hitting 346 against him. The Brewers smash righties. I don't know how they do it. 247, 765 OPS. Pirates versus righties, 219, 650 OPS. And the Brewers bullpen has just traded Hader. Doesn't really, looks like Williams is, 40. How many innings has he not allowed to run for? A ridiculous amount. Pete, take it away here. You've moved on the Pirates. Explain it and talk to us.
Did I? No, I have not. Did I say I moved on the Pirates?
Yeah, you said you were on the. Oh no, sorry, the 2 teams of full line value. My bad. I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
That's at half line, but no, the Cubs and the Tigers.
If I had a free play right now, I probably would throw it on the Pirates. I did bet the under 8 a little bit on the overnight line, just a standard size bet. Burns is obviously a stud, and Bryce Wilson, major league pitcher, hasn't done well. Already faced Milwaukee twice at home this year, and both were great. But this is one of those games where could easily see Bryce Wilson getting crushed. And the final score is Milwaukee 6, Pittsburgh 1, and the game still goes under. So I got 8 on the under. Took a shot with the under 8. Didn't bet the side, but if I had a free play at this line, I would have to take Pittsburgh. And then shout out to Dabby Cab, smashing a fat plane. I have no idea what the fuck that is, but it sounds pretty fun. Sounds pretty cool. Shout out to Dabby Cab, smashing a fat plane. Okay. Yeah. I did bet the under, though, on the overnight line at 8.
Yeah, I like it. And you got the 8 on it. Turnsy says, if you guys had to throw $100 in an MLB future right now, what would it be? I would have to, we got to wait 24 hours. There's just too much going on at the trade deadline right now. I think we answer that question in 24 hours, Turnsy, personally. But Pete, could you answer that now?
Yeah, I feel like one of those old people like, God, these kids are so creative. The old people who doesn't hate on the kids, who's like, no, I admire their creativity. Smashing a fat plane, it's so creative. What was your question, Jimmy Bag?
Wow, Soto and Bell to the Padres deal is being finalized. Yeah, I saw that the Soto was, but Paco Healy says Padres World Series price will plummet. Oh wow, Wow, this is exciting. It's I need 24 hours. We had a question from Turnsy said if you guys had to throw $100 on any MLB future right now, what would it be?
To win what? The World Series?
Whatever you want, any future.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't follow futures. I follow baseball game by game. So I don't even know who might be overvalued or undervalued right now. I mean, obviously, I couldn't even hazard a guess for a recommended play there.
Yeah, I need 24 more hours. I will hit me with that tomorrow, Turnsy, my guy. Junior G says the Astros. Andrew G says Astros looking good.
I would say ask Big Ragu, and whatever he says, do that.
Yes, he is. He's been fantastic, Big Ragu, as always. Okay, well, so you moved on the under 8. It's now 7.5. It never opened at 8 at Bet365. I love that you got the 8. That 8 makes sense to me. And and I guess that's about it for me. I'm not gonna move on it. Did you want to make anything official here on the spot?
No, not really. Just eyeballing. I'm thinking maybe Houston. Maybe if I had to, without even looking at the odds, and I had to pick one of these top teams for a futures bet, maybe I'd go with Houston. No official play for me, Jimmy the Bag.
Well, let's move on to an extremely tricky one. New York Mets at Washington Nationals, and the return of Jacob deGrom. Let's take a look at the weather for deGrom's first start of the year. 6.8 miles per hour is the wind, left to right, slightly in. 87 Fahrenheit, feels like 92. Let's go over to the line history for deGrom's first start. It's going to be fun to see him back in action. Give us an idea of what the Mets are going to be like. There's been a 10-cent move towards the Mets, minus 305 to minus 315. You must watch Say Hey Plays to see if this is a 300 favorite that Jose Bouquet will be fading. The initial move was towards the Nationals, by the way. Then totals-wise, it just moved to 8 an hour and just under 2 hours ago. Had been 8.5. And the first initial move, again, was to the over, but it's moved to the under and dropped a half run. Let's see where the cash lies in this one. 7,893 tickets in. 91% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the Mets. 60% of tickets on the under. They don't have a cash count as of yet. deGrom in 2021 was unbelievable. Only through 92 innings. In those 92 innings, he had a 1.08 ERA, a 0.55 whip. A 0.55 whip. 146 Ks and 11 walks. He did allow 6 home runs, but 92 innings. He's pitched in 12 and 2/3 innings in the minors and rehab starts in single A and triple A combined. And he struck out 21 in 12 and 2/3, but he has allowed 4 earned runs, 5 runs total, 2 homers. He's going up against Corey Abbott. 26-year-old Corey Abbott was on the Cubs and now is on the Nats. Second-round pick in 2017 draft out of Loyola Marymount. In AAA this year, he started 8 games. It could be and maybe and is most likely a bullpen day, but he did start 8 games in AAA, so it's not incapable for him to go deep. 0-5, 4.98 ERA, 1.54 whip, 40 Ks and 34 in the third. Has walked 19 batters and allowed 6 home runs. Mets versus righties, 261, 740 OPS. Nats, 245, 688 OPS. Mets bullpen has been getting better and better as the season's gone on. The Nats bullpen isn't awful. 4.21 ERA, 1.32 whip. Lee Davis says, I want to fade the Mets so bad. Johnny Gunn says, I kind of want to fade deGrom's first start back. Let's hear what Pete has to say. Mets, Nats.
Yeah, I did bet the first 5 under. at 4.5. I agree. Nutflesh Allen said it all right here. How many times have you seen this when a big star is traded and the dog wins outright? Huge shout out to Nutflesh Allen. Yeah, I took the first 5 under. I probably like the full game under as well. DeGrom, his last rehab start, he did get hit a little bit, but he purposefully a little bit dialed back his velocity. His velocity was there in the opening rehab starts, and so especially with star players, star pitchers in their rehab starts, each start is intended to accomplish certain things, and that he established his fastball velocity in his earlier starts, so he dialed it back in his last one, and I think it was just another warm-up start for him. I wouldn't put too much into the fact that he gave up a couple home runs in his last start. I think, of course, we don't know. I think DeGrom will be fine here. Will hit 100 on the radar gun, and his command should be okay, and he'll have a strong start. But I would definitely not want to take the Mets at first 5 at that line. And I did have them yesterday. Yeah, I was in the Caesars Sportsbook, and I realized everyone else in the Sportsbook also had the Mets first 5 based on the reactions to that game. I don't want it here. And if you gave me a free play, I would put it on Washington at the current line, right? Not at minus 150, but at minus 300 or whatever. Yes, I put on Washington. I did bet the first 5 under, though. I think, Abbott should be okay. Wouldn't be surprised if it's like Washington 2, Mets 1 after 5 innings or something like that. But I do like the first 5 under, and I bet it.
The first 5 under, yeah. What did you get it at?
I mean, I got 4.5. I don't remember the exact line, but right now it's at minus 110 at Pinnacle. I'll make, why not? I'll make that official. And I also kind of like no run in the first as well. But I'll take under 4.5 minus 110 first 5.
Loshak. First 5 under 4.5.
Minus 110, yeah.
Minus 110. Yeah, I get it. I get why you would be doing this. Let's go back to the weather quickly again. Yeah, it's I get it. Joe, you're just looking at the Mets' first 3 minus a half at minus 125. I think this first 5 under makes quite a bit of sense. It makes quite a bit of sense. I'm going to throw a bunch of asterisks towards it. We don't know the count right now. All we know is that 60% of the tickets are on the under. And I agree with your breakdown on Corey Abbott. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the Mets don't hurt him that badly. Okay.
You never know. They could put up 4 in the first, though. Who knows?
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. He has made 3 appearances, 4 innings. These appearances have come lately, right? Let's go back to, I forget what exactly was happening.
Yeah, it's a tiny sample size, whatever. But he's getting his Ks, his strikeouts,
Yeah, and he was fine in AAA. So
it's just a weird situation. DeGrom's back, Soto's gone. Massive favorite. Free play, no question about it. I would take Washington. Does that mean I'm going to bet my own actual money on it? Maybe not. Haven't done it yet, but I did bet the first 5 under. I
like it. I like your look on the first 5 under, 4.5. It's available to me at minus 115. Pete got it at minus 110, and I like it. Okay,
and I might throw on a no run in the first as well before this show is over.
All right. Well, we will double back once we do a complete review of all action. Let's roll on, Pete. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners 55-49, 28-26 on the road at the New York Yankees 70-34, 41-13 at home. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Our Pistol Pete Loshak coming to us live from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's take a look at the weather here in New York for this one. 87 Fahrenheit, feels like 93, 8.8 miles per hour left to right across the diamond. But that only lasts for 1 hour or even less, 45 minutes. Within an hour, it's out to that short porch and right. So keep that in mind. If you're looking at some site that's saying it's just left to right, it will be out for most of the game to that short porch. And Harold Williams says the trade is official. Oh, man.
You know what, Jimmy Bag? You can add no run in the first inning at minus 119 as well. Make that official. What the hell?
All right.
No run first, minus 119.
No run first inning, minus 119. There's Moose Money said just dropped in to say, let's fucking go, Soto. Wow. Paco Healy says, who is breaking the news? We don't have Jose here to deliver us that kind of information, but I am here, which means look, I know what you're asking for. You're asking for this, aren't you? So there you go. But I will. We do have the trade has become official. The trade has become official.
Yeah,
Soto.
Jose. I need to perfect my Jose Bouquet impression, breaking news impression. I don't have it down yet, but yeah. Go ahead,
I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know you were going to hammer that.
yeah. Juan Soto is traded. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead. Go do what you're going to do.
Wow. Soto and Tatis. Padres become serious, says Latsy. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Soto and Bell move over to the Padres. We will talk more about that as this goes on. Let's talk about this Yankees Mariners situation. Logan Gilbert versus Jamison Taillon. Gilbert has looked well. Let's talk. What Taillon has looked vulnerable in his last few starts on the road, but still at home he's having nice performances. There has been a 10-cent move to the Mariners. They've gone from plus 150 to plus 140 at bet 365, and a 5-cent move to the over. It was slightly juiced to the under at 8.5. It's now a pick'em. Or sorry, it's now a pick'em. Sorry. All right, let's move over to the cash flow in this big one, Yankees Mariners, and we talked about the Pirates getting half line value. We talked about the two teams who have full line value. We haven't broken those games down yet. But the Mariners have half line value, but the betting public doesn't believe that because 30% of the tickets are on the Mariners, but just 2% of the cash. Huge bets are coming in on Taillon and the Yankees. Huge. 59% of the tickets are on the over, but just 52% of the cash. Taillon coming off a 1-0 win at home versus the Royals. He went 6 innings for it. No earned runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks. At home, he's a 3.16 ERA, 256 opponents batting average. Mariners are hitting just 232, 690 OPS versus righties. Yankees 244, 766 OPS. Mariners bullpen has been excellent of late, and the Yankees bullpen has been good all season long. Joe Yurkovich did lock in that Mets first 3 minus a half at minus 125. Logan Gilbert has been better on the road than he's been at home this year. 2.47 ERA, 223 opponents batting average, 6-1. And Logan Gilbert, 2 earned runs, 1 homer in his last start, 4-2 loss at the Astros. He looked very good. Pete, what do you think of this spot here? Logan Gilbert at plus 140 or thereabouts on the road in the Bronx.
Yeah, well, I did have the first 5 over in yesterday's game, but I missed the Yankees. It was an obvious, in retrospect, good play. I think I just got spooked by what to expect from Herman. This one, I'm a little bit surprised that money's coming in. That sharp money seems to be on Seattle. I did take the Yankees. Maybe that was a mistake, but it just seems like their lineup, statistically to me, your lineup without, I'm assuming that French is going to be out, and of course Rodriguez is out. So those are 2 huge bats out for Seattle. And Taillon has been iffy, but a little bit better of late. So I did take the Yankees -1, and I would also be leaning first 5 under as well. Haven't bet that one yet. But I'm assuming that I'm seeing French as questionable. Maybe he's going to be in. I was assuming he's going to be out.
Yeah, all of the big bets are coming in on the Yanks here.
Right, France, not French. I keep saying it. Go ahead, Jim.
I thought that was his nickname. I thought you knew he's a Frenchie from your days back in. No, well. Paco Healy says my local just took down the World Series prices after I got another unit on it at 22-1. Alex Gagnon in the house. Alex, sardines. What are you chewing on right now? You chewing on some sardines? I think that was a little bump in a long season for Taillon, and I think he's going to be good down the stretch. What are your expectations of him?
Yeah, I think he's solid. I mean, I think he'll be vulnerable in spots for sure, and I'll be looking for those spots. But in general, I think he's okay. He's fine. I was on the first 5 over yesterday, leaning first 5 under here.
And you moved on the Yankees.
Yeah, I did. It might have been a mistake, but I'm not going to pull it.
I don't mind the look on the Yankees -1. Let's just quickly go over one more thing before we move on, and I just want to take a look at Gilbert's stats a little closer here.
No, I mean, he's nice and reliable.
Yeah.
I think as we sit here right now, I'm liking the first 5 under. I probably won't pull back the Yankees bet. It might have been a little bit hasty. I assumed it would get bet up. I should have taken a clue that the line was suspiciously low, but I didn't.
And he's shut down this squad. And spreadsheet play of the day is in. Aaron Crawford has dropped the spreadsheet play of the day on the Blue Jays. On the Blue Jays. Okay. I get that look towards the under. I get it.
Might not be a great spot for Tyon, though. We'll see. I'm not going to add on first 5 under as a play.
And you wouldn't move on the Yanks -1 if...
No, I don't want to make that official. No.
All right. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Diamondbacks 45-57, 18-30 on the road at the Cleveland Guardians, 53-49, 26-19 at home. Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Nafashan says, take a look at the team total. Seattle. Take a look at the team total. Seattle. Sure. Let's see what it
over is. Or under? Which way?
I think he's expecting...
Oh, over. Team total over. Seattle over.
Over 3.5 -113 over at Penn.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked it's just, with no France and
Dennis Garcia says, we already discussed the Jays. I'm fading the Jays every day in August. Currently, all I see is a flawed roster. I can completely understand that. Completely understand, especially how much they've struggled to beat minnows. I'm really hoping that there's some trade deadline action. If there isn't, then obviously Atkins does not believe in the squad either. I can completely understand that thought process, Dennis, but let's hope maybe we can help this bullpen here and the starting pitching here. Let's just give it a few more hours before we panic here. Okay. We move on to Diamondbacks Guardians. Zach Gallen versus Tristan McKenzie. A nice pitching matchup. Gallen's been good at home and on the road. On the road, 3.24 ERA, 217 opponent's batting average. In his last start, it was a win at home versus the Giants. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. Just 1 was earned, 5 Ks and 1 walk. Going up against Tristan McKenzie, who's coming off a 4-2 loss at the Red Sox, but he's been very good this season. 3.24 ERA, 0.98 whip. Does allow the long ball a little more than you would like. 17 home runs on the year. And he allowed 1 at Boston. At home, he's better than he is on the road, but his splits are fine. At home, 3-1, 2.89 ERA, 182 opponent's batting average. Diamondbacks, 219, 685 OPS versus righties. Guardians just get so much contact still. 263, 734 OPS. We'll see if that changes without Naylor. Diamondbacks, 4.12 ERA, 1.35 whip. Guardians, bullpen stepping up again. 3.43 ERA, 1.18 whip, converted 26 of 38. So we'll start with the weather in Cleveland. 77 Fahrenheit, 3.8 miles per hour in. Very slight wind, non-issue. Let's take a look at the line history in this Gallen-McKenzie start. No movement. Guardians open up -135. That's where they stand. And there's been a 5-cent move to the over. So not much movement here. Let's see if the cash money flow correlates with all that information. 4,892 tickets in, 53% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on Cleveland, but market not moving. Strange. Then 44% of the tickets, 69% of the cash on the over. Strange. Very, very strange. Take it away here, Pete. Diamondbacks, Guardians.
Well, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to pass on it. I had the game yesterday pretty well nailed. I had first 5 over. I had Arizona first 5, which pushed, but I also had their first 5 team total over, which cashed. And, both the starting pitching matchup here is just really tough. Both of these guys I have rated as pretty good, except, speed bump is never unexpected. But in general, guys that I'm more likely to bet on than bet against. So and the line is close to even. It's just I have no bet on it as of right now. Tough one, and it's going to be a pass for me.
A pass, and yeah. I get it. I absolutely get it. So we have a pass here. I get it. I was hoping to feel a lean here. It just says I lean the first 5 under, even though McKenzie likes to give up the long ball. McKenzie's a very good pitcher, I'm surprised. Are you surprised that all this money would be on the Guardians and there'd be no movement towards
money coming in on the Guardians? Yeah, I mean, I think that Arizona people think of them as a legitimately bad team, which I think is roughly true. And people think of McKenzie as a. I mean, he's been very lights out over the past 5 or 6 starts. I talked about him in the beginning of the year with Jose Bouquet offline. I was like, I have my eye out for this guy. When he puts it all together, he might have a run of lights outness, and that did actually happen this year. But his speed bumps will still happen. So, I'm not surprised that that money's coming in on Cleveland. It's just going to be a pass for me.
And there's a lot of money coming in on Cleveland, but the line not moving at all. Not moving at all, which is strange. Again, 53% of tickets, but 93% of the cash on Cleveland. Okay, let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. By the way, Joe Uger says home road splits tell me Cleveland is the play. I would be with you if we saw a 20-cent move towards Cleveland, but clearly the books have no fear taking all this Guardians money, and that just makes me nervous at this point. But we will double check. Next spot up here, we arrive at our Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day, and it is on the Bluebirds on the road at Tampa. I'm very nervous about this series. Very, very nervous. By the way, Schnitzel said that makes him like the first 5 under even more. I get why you would like the first 5 under, but there have been some big bets coming on the over. I'm just okay. Let's see if we get more clarity in this one. Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. Gausman versus Rasmussen. We've already heard from our Dennis Garcia that he's going to fade the Blue Jays every day in August. All he sees is a flawed roster. I agree. This is a flawed roster, and we're hoping before the deadline is finished, we're going to have some moves here. I'd be very surprised if they do nothing, but nothing has been done so far. Gausman versus Rasmussen here. And Rasmussen, although has not been great of late, he's been very good at home still. And the Blue Jays did nothing to warrant any confidence towards them. They open up at minus 130. They get up to minus 150 by 7:38 last night. It's come back. It came back as low as minus 135. There was a 15-cent move, but come back 5 cents. So there's been a 10-cent move from the beginning on the Blue Jays. Then from a total standpoint, it's exactly where it opened, 7 minus 120 to the over. When we take a look at the money in this spot, 5,069 tickets in, 57% of the tickets, 68% of the cash on the Blue Jays, 74% of the tickets, 97% of cash on the over. Very strange. Gausman, 3.30 ERA, 1.32 whip on the season. He's allowed just 6 home runs, 122 Ks, 19 walks. And he's been even better on the road than he's been at home. On the road, 4-3, 2.34 ERA, 247 opponent's batting average. Drew Rasmussen, 6-3, 3.17 ERA, 1.20 whip, but at home, 3-0, 2.09 ERA, 182 opponent's batting average. Being very good. Blue Jays versus righties, 266, 771 OPS. Almost 100 points better than the Rays versus righties, OPS-wise. The Blue Jays bullpen starting to pitch it's been pitching better, but I don't trust them. But they have been pitching quite a bit better over the last few weeks. And I don't think it's – look at the opponents. Look at who they've been facing. I think that's the only reason why the bullpen numbers have been so good of late. We've been playing some really weak baseball teams and baseball teams missing players due to COVID. Rays bullpen's been good all year long. Take it away here, Pete. What do you think? Spreadsheet play of the day is on the Jays, Rays.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel so great. I did take a shot with Tampa Bay first 5, and I know that Dabby Cab is on the direct other side of that. He's on Toronto -1, but Dabby Cab also smashes fat planes, so that tells you a lot about his opinions. Listen. No, shout out to Dabby Cab. Shout out to you. I smash fat planes too, obviously. So, I think that Toronto is a tricky team at home. A lot of times, even teams that are not flawed can sometimes struggle in there. And Rasmussen, I kind of like. Gausman's fine. Is fine, but he can give up a run or two here and there. I don't love Tampa Bay as a team in general right now, but with Rasmussen starting as a home dog, I took a shot with Tampa Bay plus a half. I got actually moved. It's now minus 120. I got it at minus 110, I think. Could lose, but why would Toronto be the spreadsheet play of the day here, Jimmy the Bag? What could his spreadsheet be possibly seeing?
I think it's
play of the day.
I think it's just seeing the huge advantage they have offensively. So if you're saying Gaussman and Rasmussen are a wash with Gaussman on the road and Rasmussen at home, then where is the big advantage? It's just with the sticks. That's where I would, because I mean his data analysis is also within the last month of action, so he's probably focusing only on July, and he's just seeing the advantage that the Jays have with the sticks.
I don't know. I mean, if Ron Crawford's like, well, I see value with Toronto, great. Play of the day. Now I'm concerned.
Bo Jackson says Gaussman played well last start and the Jays lost. Yeah, 6-1. Well, I don't think he pitched well. He 4 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. He out pitched by Wainwright in a bad way. Okay.
All right. You know what? I'll just go with it. This might be, I think my handicapping opinions on baseball in general have merit, but Ron Crawford's spreadsheet plays of the day have way more merit than mine. But we're having a nice show here. It's fun. We'll make it interesting. Tampa Bay, first 5. We'll take should we take plus a half or just take the money line?
Minus 116 plus a half.
Yeah. You know what? If it pushes, then we'll just eat the push. I'll take the money line plus 129. Tampa Bay first 5 plus 129. Official play.
Tampa Bay first 5 plus 129. All right. Locked in. Johnny K looking at Vladdy. They hit a home run, and the Jays win at plus 600. Okay, let's roll on. 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Phillies 55-47, 29-22 on the road at the Atlanta Braves 62-41, 36-21 at home. I did want to take one quick look. How low is that first 5? 3.5. My God. Paco Healy says I was going to lay off drinking today, but I'm seeing some lunch beers in my near future. A celebration in San Diego with the news that Juan Soto is coming to town. All right, let's talk about this Phillies Braves spot. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll start with the weather here in Atlanta, Georgia. And it is 87 Fahrenheit. Feels like 94. It's humid. 6.2 miles per hour out to left field. Dies down to 4.3 by the end of the game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. With the Braves and Spencer Strider has been so good this year. There's been a 10-cent move to the Braves and a move to the over. Opened up at 8, juiced to the under. It's now at 8.5, slightly juiced to the under. Joe Yurkovich says there's no way Atlanta should be favored this high. No way. No way, says our Joe Yurkovich. Let's see where the cash is in this one. Very slight line value towards Atlanta, maybe 8%. 6,103 tickets in. 16% of the tickets and 30% of the cash on the Phillies. Some big bets agreeing with Yurkovich that they shouldn't be this big of a dog. Then 46% of the tickets, 91% of cash on the over. 91% of cash on the over is wild here. We've seen it. This total go from 8 to 8.5, so the book's a little uncomfortable. Nick Nelson, so we expect it's a bullpen day. In July, Nick Nelson had his best month of the season by far. He didn't have a good year coming up to July, but in July he went 11 1/3 innings, 9 hits, just 2 earned runs with 15 strikeouts and 5 walks. So to begin this bullpen day, Nick Nelson 3.94 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, and he's pitching as well as he has all year with just 1 home run allowed in 48 innings. Against Spencer Strider, coming off a 6-3 win at these Phillies, now faces them at home. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 earned run. It was a solo shot and 6 Ks at home. He's got a 3 ERA, 224 opponent's batting average. And the Phillies hit righties decent, 246, 716 OPS, not as much as the Braves, 243, 740 OPS. the Phillies bullpen was starting to really move in the right direction and slipped a little bit of late, and the Braves bullpen being good all year long. Lee Davis says on the Phillies here, and he says like that under as well to Coins on the under 8.5 in this spot. Take it away here, Pete. Phillies Braves.
Yeah, this one I'm not exactly sure about. As you know, Jimmy the Bag, I've done quite well with Strider this year, mostly betting on him. And, a lot of times in the comment sections, there's people like, well, what about this? What about that? What about that? All decent points. But I've been betting on him and winning with him most games, including last game against Philly, which he faced Philly, and I was on him. And that was, I think, an official play in this show, and it won. Now he's facing him for a second time in a row as a huge favorite. I have not pulled the trigger on this one yet. Minus 230, facing Philly for the second time in a row. I still kind of like it. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. Haven't bet it yet, and I don't think I'll I'll go official here. But, bullpen day for Philly, although Nelson's rested, so he might go deeper. Haven't bet this one yet.
Lee Davis is on the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Yurkovich is on the Phillies. John Todd liking the Phillies at plus 1.5 at minus 105. So we're not hearing a lot of people backing the Braves at this spot. Sammy Comer says, surely there's line value on Philly here. Not according to Sports Insights. They still see very slight line value on Spencer Strider. And the Braves. This one also makes me nervous with Strider seeing the lineup a second time, although he fared great against them the first time seeing them. But it's this big of a favorite. I can understand there being some trepidation. Let's talk about our first spot on the board where Sports Insights says there is full line value, and that is these Detroit Tigers. These Detroit Tigers and Matt Manning on the hill. 5,182 tickets in, 24% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Tigers. So we better see a big market move towards them. Then 29% of tickets on the over and 35% of cash on the over. Let's see the big line move to the Tigers to give us confidence to bet them, and we aren't seeing that. There has been a 10-cent move to them, 175 to 165. From a total standpoint, it opened up at 9, juice to the under minus 115. That's where it is right now. So, that all checks out. Matt Manning started with it was a shoulder injury that first put him on the 60-day IL. Then it became bicep tendonitis. He's the 9th overall pick out of high school in the 2016 draft out of Sacramento. 24 years old, 9th overall pick. And he only threw 8 innings before getting hurt, and he looked good, very good in them. He built up to 85 pitches in his last start at AAA Toledo, went 5 2/3 scoreless. Going up against Chris Archer, who has not looked good of late. He has not looked good, coming off an ugly performance at the Brewers. 3 innings, 3 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 Ks, 6 walks. He hasn't been that good at home this year, a little worse than he's been on the road. 2-3, 4.13 ERA, 226 opponents batting average. It was talked about by Jose last weekend that there could be some arm fatigue from Chris Archer, who was just not throwing this many innings in, 3 years? And I think he nailed it. Joe Yurkovich said doubled up on the Tigers. First half team total over and full game team total over 1.5 and 3.5. They're only hitting 213, 587 OPS, but can they get to Archer? And their bullpen being so good this year, Twins bullpen being decent. John Todd says Tigers game going over. I think Archer's slipping, and I think Twins going to hit a little bit. Take it away here, Pistol Pete Loshak, Tigers Twins.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone is mostly saying here. I did take Tigers first 5 team total over. I also took both teams over first 5 as well at 4.5. Archer is definitely concerning right now. I mean, Detroit doesn't have a good offense, but Archer looks like he has some serious problems. And Manning is promising. His last start in the minors was excellent, so I think he's going to be okay in general going forward long term. But in this spot, the first start back in the majors after a strong AAA start might not necessarily be the best spot for him. Not saying I think he's going to get crushed, but against a decent lineup with Minnesota, I think he's more likely than not to give up a few himself. So I did take Detroit team total over first 5 and a little bit on the full game. I took both teams first 5 over at 4.5, and then I did take small shots with Detroit, first 5 and small shots first 5 and on the full game I took a -1 actually with Detroit. So, but yeah, I can't not take Detroit first 5 team total over, and I'll probably double up and take the first 5 over as well.
Well, let's grab that for you. Sorry, let me get this.
Yeah, I'll line shop around. You can read some comments, Jim in the bag.
Let's do that. Let's do that. There's Foxy in the house. Paul Tribby says both teams suck. Orioles and Pirates seem better. Joe Yerger says weather in Minnesota is hot. Offensive plus 97 degrees. Wind blowing out at 17. What? I did not have that. Let me just go this. Oh, yes. I didn't read it out. Let me also refresh it. I have 15.6, but let's refresh it. It's very humid in Minnesota.
All right, I'm going to take. I got Detroit first half team total over 1.5 -139. It's current line at Pinnacle, and I'm going to take both teams first half over as well. I got 4.5. Let's see what they're hanging right now here on Pub Sports Radio. Loshak in the bag show. Oh! It's up to 5 at Heritage. Let's see what they're offering. Let's see what they're hanging at Pinnacle here. Let's 5. Okay, 4.5 -128. All right, it appears to be headed up a bit.
It does. It certainly does. And I think that makes sense. What was your team total over for the Tigers?
1.5 -139.
First 5 over 1.5 at -139.
And, all right, it's not the greatest line, but at Pinnacle it's -128. So we'll do over 4.5 -128.
First 5 over 4.5 at -128 for Pete. Yeah, I was thinking that I just feel like Archer has got to be the more vulnerable one of these two, but Manning has not been in the show for a while. I think it helped that watching for so long, though. No, he's not.
Sure. I mean, I could easily he could have a shutout start and score still 5-zip after 5 innings. Detroit,
Yeah. I like the first 5 over here. I think you're on the right track. I'm going to be getting 5 at plus 100, sadly. What's Pinnacle offering the 5 at? Pinnacle's offering the
-101.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to move on that. All right. Sounds like a fun game to watch. Armchair MMA says yes. The Padres getting more and more dangerous. More and more dangerous. Harold Williams says this should go over, but don't trust the Tiger bats. I do against Archer. Archer just looks so bad of late. Okay, so we have Pete moving on the first 5 team total over 1.5 -139, and the first 5 over 4.5 at -128. I'm looking very closely at that first 5 over. I did think I was going to move on the Tigers, but I can understand being a little nervous with Manning.
Twins have a much better lineup,
Absolutely, they do. Yeah.
So you don't want, Detroit to put up 6 and, Minnesota puts up 9 and all your Detroit money line bets lose, but the team total over is covered easily, So I'm just going to stick with that for now.
I might end up on the Tigers. I just it's just such a big price. Plus 155 is pretty juicy in a game where we expect volatility.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaning first 5 over, first 5 Tigers, I think, and I'm not going to take the plus a half here. Let's move on. Next up we have the Chicago Cubs at St. Louis Cardinals, and that takes us to Taint. The Taint play of the day is Chicago St. Louis first 5 under 4.5. And Matty Ice is going for his 8th straight Taint. His 8th straight.
That's unbelievable.
Saturated says you play Detroit first 5 a lot. Any idea what your record is? I could do just a quick. I do. You're right. I do play them a lot. I could just give you a very quick idea here. But let's go. Okay, so Tigers first 5. I lost first 4.5 plus a half on them there, and then you know what? I'll probably do this while. Oh, there's Tigers. Oh, that's full game was a casher. Tigers first 5 was a loss. there. Oh, you're right. Why do I have maybe I just like them. Do you think that that's getting involved with my Tigers first 5 plus a half, a casher at plus 105 there? Okay, I'll keep. So there, that's 2-2 at this point. Tigers first 3 at plus 145 is a casher. That's a big plus 145 score. That's my 5th bet. Here's another Tigers first 5 as a loser. That's my 6th bet on the Tigers first 5. Tigers first 5 a winner here. Now we're going back to early in the season. You're right. Tigers first 5 is a loser. Wow, you're right. Here's another Tigers first 5. So I'm 5-4. Jesus, you're right. I do play them a lot. All right. Let's see. I'm almost. I'll keep looking here, but you're absolutely right. There's another Tigers. Okay, you're right. I maybe I should take a closer look. I wish I had more time to do this. Energy says you have this weird hard-on for the Tigers. I just think that we get value with this strong pitching staff and this excellent bullpen. But you're right. You're right. Again, Taint going for its 8th straight casher, and Pimp Slap play today is 6-1 over its last 7.
Wow.
And Pimp Slap play today is on the Cubs first 5 plus a half from Mikey M. Gonna copy and paste that right there. Okay, so Keegan Thompson going up against Adam Wainwright. I wonder what Wainwright will give us after that spectacular performance in Toronto. Now, Flush On says the Cubs faced Rodon on a mission, and they will get a better look at the plate today. Rodon was pitching for his trade life. Cubs will feel better at the plate today. There's our guy, Robert Cherry, a.k.a. Officer of 50, Ayash Yala in the house. Creo Kai says over is the best play here. Thinks both teams score 4+. All right, so let's see what the weather is like in St. Louis. It's humid, very humid. 93 Fahrenheit at 7 p.m., but it feels like 106. 10 miles per hour out to left field, and it kind of moves more right to left by the end of the game, but it's very, very hot. Saturated says, no way I'm taking the Cubs today without knowing if Happ and Contreras are in the lineup. I'd just be so shocked if Contreras was there, but Happ may be there. Tanso says, I know the Padres signed Soto, but you got to win the World Series before you have a parade in downtown San Diego. And he says, you think the Padres just won the World Series already. Bananas and Grapes shouting out Taint here. Let's take a look at the line history in this Cubs cards spot and the cash flow. Here we go. We have a no movement. Cards open up minus 170. That's where they stand right now. There has been a half run move to the over. Opened up at 8, slightly juiced to the over. It's now at 8.5, slightly juiced to the under. And when we get to the cash flow, again, this is our second team with full line value, and it's the Chicago Cubs and Keegan Thompson. 14% of the tickets, 11% of the cash on them, though. 65% of the tickets, 74% of the cash on the over for Keegan Thompson and Adam Wainwright. Keegan Thompson hasn't been good on the road all year, but we've seen a couple flashes of strong performances on the road of late. On the road, 3.2, 4.40 ERA, 250 opponents batting average. That compares to the 3.16 ERA, 1.20 whip he has overall. Coming off 4-2 win at home versus the Pirates, he was lights out. That was when we were doing our show 5 days ago. 7 innings for it, 2 runs, no runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks. I was on the Cubs first 5 minus a half, and I paid for it, minus 125, but 3 runs in the first inning. Made things very easy. And Wainwright coming off that spectacular start at Toronto. He's been very good at home this year. 3-3, 2.01 ERA, 224 opponents batting average. Both teams hit righties with very similar numbers, and both teams' bullpens aren't that far apart either. Although the Cards' bullpens be much better of late. Take it away here, Pete. We have the Taint play of the day on the first 5 under 4.5. The Pimp Slap play of the day on the Cubs first 5 plus a half. What is your move, Cubs Cardinals?
Well, I did already bet the first 5 under at 4.5, and I also put a little on the Cardinals team total under at 4.5, and I did put a little bit on the Cubs first 5 plus a half at minus 105, but that was just sort of like a quick anti bet. That I put my smallest bet size on the Cubs first 5 plus a half. Bigger bets on the Cardinals team total under and the first 5 under. Jimmy the Bag, we were talking earlier today about watching line moves, and sometimes they are kind of telling, or they feel that way to me. This is a perfect example of a game that will be if there's some kind of 5 or 10 cent line move close to first pitch that where I wouldn't expect it. Like, why would there be a 10 cent line move that direction right there? It'll have me thinking pretty hard. This is a perfect example of a game where where late line movements might be telling to me. Great comment here from Nutflush Allen saying that the Cubs are going to get a better feel at the plate today. So, yeah, I'm agreeing with everyone, leaning Cubs here. And I have bet first 5 under a bit, St. Louis team total under a bit, and Cubs first 5 plus a half a bit.
Yeah, I get why you'd be on all those spots. These guys have nice numbers against the Cubs. Do you think it makes sense to wait until you see if these Contreras
it's just if there is sort of like a line movement where I'm like, well, why did that just happen? That doesn't make any sense. Why would that? It'll be pretty telling. Very similar to the St. Louis Washington line movement that I talked about earlier in the show. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, Wainwright is reliable in any given start. The fact that he's off an awesome start is not a negative for him, as it might be with some other people. But at the same time, he's obviously on the decline, obviously in his last year. And Thompson, up and down, but statistically, this should be a better spot for him. So that's what I did.
What do you want to make official?
Let's say, let's do. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me the bag. What do I want to make official? The first 5 Pips. The taint play is first 5 under, right?
Under 4.5 minus 115, and is going for its 8th straight.
Gosh, man. All right. I already bet that, so I'll join it. First 5 under 4.5. Let me check Pinnacle here. Minus 115 at Heritage. Let's see what Pinnacle's got. Pinnacle's got 116. Okay, I'll take 115. First 5 under 4.5 minus 115.
Saturated looking at Thompson over strikeouts here. First 5 under 4.5 for Pistol Pete Loshak. That is the taint play of the day. And taint looking for number 8 in a row. Pimp slap play of the day. Also Cubs first 5 plus a half. There you have it. I'm gonna take some more time with that spot here.
I do have a little on that myself, like I told you.
Yeah. No, I makes sense. All right. Chase White says, you guys, I need a good 3-team parlay so I can get some badass tickets to the Chili Pepper concert. One thing we've been doing.
I'll make a recommended 3-team parlay.
Don't make a recommended 3-team parlay, Pete. What we've been doing, and we started on Thursday of last week, and I've been tracking it, is every show we each put in a pick for a parlay, and I've been tracking it. So let's do that today. If Jose I don't think Jose will be in San Antonio in time to join us, but we'll do a 2-game parlay ourselves, and I will track it as I've been tracking the others.
Sure.
So, and we're doing that every show now. We're closing with each person on the show will give their best bet, and we'll put it into a parlay and track it. And Pete and I used to have a parlay show, an NFL parlay show back in the day. That was very fun. Okay, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles. Jordan Lyles is pitching very well, going up against the Texas Rangers. And what a call with Spencer Howard in that last start by us, his 26th birthday. We took some flack or some questions from the chat saying, really, you're going to try this birthday move? But man, as the birthday looks, been cashing for us. We cashed with Scherzer the day before, and then Spencer Howard was lights out in California on his 26th birthday for us to cash that under. And he also outpitched Shohei. Lyles going up against Spencer. And Lucas Ryan says, I can confirm it is sticky and gross in St. Louis right now. And Paul Trippy saying same with Shohei's birthday. They do want your 3 parlay, so we'll get Pete to add a 3-game parlay for you guys, but I'll be tracking the one that he does with me. And but everybody wants your 3-team parlay, so we'll keep that in mind. We will add that to the end of the show. Okay.
Sure.
And my fault. I didn't mean to squash that. I just wanted him to know that we are tracking a parlay every day now. Orioles, Rangers. First off, line history-wise, there's been a 10-cent move to the Rangers, and there's been a 5-cent move to the over. 10-cent move to the Rangers, 5-cent move to the over. We come here to the cash flow. We have 4,703 tickets in. 29% of the tickets, 48% of the cash on Texas and Howard and the Rangers. 59% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on the over, but market not moving towards the over. Wow. All right, Lyles, who has been terrible on the road and excellent at home all year. Maybe that is the right angle to attack. And all of a sudden, Spencer Howard, after a nice start, might have some confidence here. And he's been okay at home, better at home than he's been on the road. Orioles hitting just 236, 695 OPS versus righties. Rangers don't hit righties either, 238, 680 OPS. Orioles bullpen being so good all year. Rangers bullpen slipping a little bit of late. Dad Fence says, does Jordan Lyles want to beat his former team? I don't think he cares enough. Hey, big guy. I don't think he cares enough. Let's go over to Pete, hear what he has to say. Orioles, Rangers.
Well, I had Baltimore yesterday, first 5 and full game. Very nice, very nice. And I took Texas here. Howard is, not a stud, but he had some nice results in the minors. His last start, as you said, was good. It's not so much a bet on Howard as it is kind of the spot. I like the spot for Texas and a little bit of a fade of Lyles. So, it might lose, but I'll make that official at Heritage right now. Texas -1 plus 121. We'll do that. Texas -1, 121. Make that official. Official play, Jimmy the Bag.
Rangers -1 at plus 121 for Loshak. I think this makes a ton of sense to me. And I just think we can take advantage of Lyle's splits. The only concern is, that was a great start in California on his birthday.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't he be able to show that, there's a reason why he was a second-round draft pick. There was a reason why he was a very important must-include for the Rangers at the trade deadline last year?
Yeah, it's betting on Howard makes me nervous, but I like the spot, getting a decent line, so I took it. Not going to not give it official.
No, I get it. Did you have any difficulty deciding between the first 5 and the full game?
This game?
Yeah.
No, I did take the first 5 here a little bit as well, but I think I'd prefer the full game.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna be on the Rangers in some form or another. I'm actually kind of leaning towards first 5. I want to attack Lyles, and I still fear that Orioles bullpen. I mean, they may move pieces out of it. And then Johnny Gunn's saying that same thing. Says, if you want to take advantage of Lyles splits, why not take Texas first 5?
Yeah, I did take first 5. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. And I'm not going to double up here. So Rangers first 5 will be the look for me. But Officer of 58, I like him. Baltimore first 5 plus half.
All right. Yeah, I hear you. And yeah, Danzo's saying, I'll tell you what, don't mess these birds. Or yeah, I don't. In general, I don't like betting against the Orioles, and in general, I like betting on them as a big dog. I was happy to pull the trigger yesterday, first 5 and full game. And this one might lose. What do you want from me? What do you want from me here?
All right. Dav Fenn cashed with the O's yesterday. Right. All right. And the O's have traded Lopez this morning. Lots of news coming in on the trade deadline today, but I like this. No, not yet, Sanka. I've not locked in CFL yet, but they'll be coming as we're now 3-2. Okay, we're 20-13 on the year, but it's become my best sport, CFL, over the last few years. Although we missed last year, or the pandemic year we missed, and then we had the shortened season last year. But my ROI is it's clearly my best sport at this point. Okay, let's roll. We both like the Rangers here and fading Lyles on the road. Why don't let's just take a quick look here at Lyles' batter versus pitcher situation here. And then we have 4 games left on the board. And Simeon, Seager, and Culberson, the only guys who've really seen him other than Cole Calhoun, have hit him hard. And then these guys have got to Howard, but I expect Howard to be better. I like it. Sean Murphy Jones says Houston Astros are now a lock after all these trades. Let us know these trades, Sean Murphy, and the term lock is a dangerous one to use. There's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. We move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox 52-52, 26-25 on the road. The Houston Astros now 30 games over 500 and 33-16 at home. Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Cutter Crawford going up against Christian Javier. Let's start with the line history for the Astros. There's been the Astros have gone from minus 225 all the way down to minus 200. Red Sox plus 185 down to plus 170. So very legitimate move towards the Red Sox. Then a 5-cent move to the over. So a big move towards the Red Sox, 5-cent move towards the over. Let's talk about the cash. 5,485 tickets in. 89% of the tickets in, 98% of the cash on the Astros, and a move towards the Red Sox. Red flag territory, 53% tickets on the over. We don't know the cash here. Cutter Crawford, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot last start and a 4-2 win at home versus Guardians. Just 47 2/3 of innings this year, but he's good. 50 strikeouts and 16 walks, 6 home runs allowed. Javier coming off 4-2 loss at the A's, where he allowed 2 long bombs, but he's been very good at home. 4-3, 2.55 ERA, 153 opponent's batting average. Astros versus righties, 239, 741 OPS. Red Sox, 251, 711 OPS. And we should keep an eye on if the Red Sox move anybody here at the deadline. Then this Red Sox bullpen just been falling apart. 4.25 ERA now, have converted just 22 of 43 saves on the year. And the Astros bullpen, the best in baseball. Take it away here, Pete. Red Sox, Astros.
All right. Well, yeah, first of all, I didn't see the exact opening line, but I the first line I looked at was on the overnight was about 5 cents lower than it is right now for Houston. Look, I don't know. I had Houston yesterday. That was probably a stupid bet. And I did come back on them once again tonight. I took a -1. Might be a bad play. You're saying that there's a ton of money coming in on Houston and no line movement, Jim, right?
Yeah. I mean, all of the money is coming on Houston.
Right.
88% of the tickets, 98% of the cash.
Damn, I wish we had Jose Bouquet right here. Yeah, obviously it's a huge favorite line here, but Houston is a stud team, like I said earlier in the show. Blindly, I would probably take them on a futures bet right now. If you gave me a free futures bet that I had to use right now on one team without checking the odds, I'd probably throw it on Houston. Coming off, I mean, Crawford is solid. Javier is, we've seen him. He's had, when he's on his game, he's absolutely lights out. Hasn't been that way recently, obviously. So he's a wild card, but Houston is just, yeah. Geez, I'm a little bit surprised by that. That you're saying that there was a movement that you're seeing towards Boston. I've already bet Houston. Might have been a mistake.
Yeah, and this is just at Bet 365. We may be moving to a different site and not using 365 with our line movements and going back to the Pinnacle line movements, but yes, at Bet 365 they opened up the Astros -225 and the Astros are now -200. So okay, so no movement for us.
You know what? I'm looking at the Heritage line. I'll take -145. Houston -1, -145. I'll take it.
All right, you are locked in.
Yeah.
You are locked in. Okay, let's move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals 41-62, 19-32 on the road at the Chicago White Sox 51-51, 23-29 at home. We're at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. Brad Keller going up against Lucas Giolito. Brad Keller.
You know what, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't want that one. Can we take it back? I don't, because Cutter Crawford is solid. Let me make that not official. Can I unofficialize it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lee Davis at 365 charges too much VIG. Way too much VIG. And that's why many locals around the world prefer to use that as their book to screw us. Okay, that's gone, Pete. You are no longer on the Astros -1 at -145.
Oh, no. Man, Saturday date says White Sox and Houston let me down yesterday. Yeah, that's the other loser I had yesterday was the White Sox. Man, the White Sox, if they had won, I would have had a big day yesterday.
Well, maybe Helen Brad Keller will change things for you. Helen Brad Keller on the bump here. Coming off a 4-0 loss at home to the Angels, she went 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 5 Ks, and 3 walks. Eric Small, much love, says, fucking love you guys, man. You give me so much knowledge. Yes, I've been cashing. Respect, Eric Small. Thank you for rolling with us, my man. I love seeing you here in the chat. Eric Jones says, do we keep riding Kansas City unders? They're batting right now 243, 676 OPS versus righties. The White Sox, 251, 677 OPS. We've finally seen the Rockies show a little bit of power versus right-handed pitchers. So we're still waiting on that from the White Sox, even though my $400 bet on them to win the division, too early, mind you. But it looks like it's going to be okay. pretty hesitant to say that still. Brad Keller has been worse on the road than he's been at home. 3-4, 4.50 ERA, 257 opponents batting average. Giolito last start, 3 earned runs, a 1 homer, 4 Ks, 4 walks, and 6-5 loss at the Rockies. He did last 5 innings, allowed 3 earned runs. Royals bullpen so bad. White Sox bullpen is starting to show signs that they might be better. Dennis Garcia says Minnie hangs on. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case, but I'm still waiting for this, skill set and cream to rise to the top for the White Sox. It's not been happening. Take it away here, Pete. Royals, White Sox.
Yeah, well, like I said, White Sox, man, if they had just friggin' pulled it out yesterday, but maybe there's something a little, they got a lot of hits, but they were all kind of singles. They're another big favorite here. Giolito and Keller are kind of, kind of a wash, I would say. Both of them can be good, but usually vulnerable. It's just going to be a pass for me as of right now. Might have a bet by first pitch, but as of right now, got to be a pass.
Yeah, I understand your hesitancy here with Giolito and Keller. There's been a 5-cent move to the White Sox, just a 5-cent move, and this total 5-cent move to the under. And 4,879 tickets in, 68% of tickets, 75% cash on the White Sox, then 50% of tickets and 83% of the cash on the over. On the over in Chicago. The weather in Chicago, 85 Fahrenheit, feels like 92, but 9.3 miles per hour in. Goes up to 10.9 miles per hour. Joe Yervich says, can you play your second half wagers in Vegas, Pete? And have you still been hitting the second half?
No, I haven't. The Heritage doesn't offer them. That's long gone.
Long gone, yeah, I haven't. Turnsey play of the day is also Blue Jays money line. So Turnsey and spreadsheet on the same side. This Royals White Sox game does make me a little uncomfortable. Let's just do a quick look at the batter versus pitcher because we know these teams are very comfortable with these guys. Against Keller, he shuts down Abreu, shuts down Tim Anderson. Look, he's got great numbers against these guys. Against Giolito, same deal. Really nice numbers. Huh. Yes, Nasty Nate, sadly. Soto to the Padres, sadly. And the wind blowing in. Why is there so many bets on this over?
Because both starters are very, very iffy. Nutflush Allen seems to be implying that this is not a good spot for the Royals. Yeah, I'd be leaning White Sox myself. There's a chance I'll be on them by first pitch. All
right. It's too bad. It was close to moving on the under there if there wasn't so much money on the over. Let's move 9:38 p.m. Eastern. Oakland Athletics, 39-65, 22-32 on the road at the LA Angels, 43-59, 23-30 at home. Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Cole Irvin just keeps rolling. He has bad splits, but he's been pitching very well on the road of late, and he's been pitching very well against tough lineups. On the road, though, 4.79 ERA, 266 opponents batting average, but he's just on right now. And it's been a bunch of starts in a row. He had an excellent July. 6-7, 3.05 ERA, 104 whip on the year. Going up against Noah Syndergaard, who we were hoping might be a Blue Jay. He's been very good at home. 4-2, 2.96 ERA, 211 opponents batting average. Coming off a nice start at the Royals, where he allowed just 1 earned run over 5 2/3. The A's don't hit righties, 213, 614 OPS. And the Angels don't hit lefties, 228, 638 OPS. It feels like there's a situation where both pitchers are going to pitch well here. Let's take a look at the weather in Anaheim to get things rolling. We have 80 Fahrenheit, 9.8 miles per hour to right center, dies down to 6.9. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. Irvin versus Syndergaard. We have no movement. And it opened up at 7 and 8:43 in the morning, it moved to 7.5. So we have a half-run move at 8:43 this morning. And if that correlates with the cash, we have just 3,946 tickets in. 62% of tickets, 89% of the cash on the Angels, not moving towards them. 62% of tickets and 98% of cash on the over. Wow. Take it away, Pete. A's, Angels.
Well, this is another game, Jimmy the Bag. That late line movement, I think might tell me something about this game. As of right now, it's a pass for me. Obviously, Irvin's been pitching great, and Oakland's been getting some wins here and there. The Angels continue to be an overvalued team. Syndergaard not too awful, but my thought on this one is liking Oakland. But if there is some kind of late line movement that doesn't have to do with a trade, with someone being out, because that kind of line movement I ignore, I might tail that late line movement. As of right now, it's going to be a pass for me.
Why do you think there's been so many bets towards the over and it's popped up a half run?
Bets towards the over?
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell you. I mean, Irvin's been great. Syndergaard has been not too awful, but it is a friggin' low total. Angel Stadium is not is slightly hitter friendly. I would say I would rate it. Yeah. So I'm not at 7 flat. I'm not surprised that money came in on the over.
I was thinking of moving on this under. I'm not going to now. Let's just see what Mike M liked it as well. Has moved to 4 on the first 5, which is much better. Need 5 runs to hurt me here. That's too bad. I was hoping that this was all going to get me onto the under. It's not going to. All right, let's move on to the last game on the card, and then we'll do a review, and Pete will give us a 3-game parlay. We'll also put our best bets together for a 2-game parlay, of which I am tracking. 9:45 p.m. Eastern, LA Dodgers 69-33, 34-18 on the road at the San Francisco Giants, 51-52, 29-24 at home at Oracle in San Francisco. Start with the weather, 64 Fahrenheit, 9.7 miles per hour to center, drops down to 8.4. Nice pitcher's park, and that weather won't change that. Let's go to the line history here in this one, Anderson versus Wood. We have a 5-cent move to the Giants. They've gone from plus 125 to plus 120. This total opened up minus 115 to the under 8. It is still there. So there's 2 conflicting things here for me, Pete. And let's just see where the cash is here. 6,657 tickets. 15% of the tickets, 20% of the cash on the Giants. So a ton of backers for the Dodgers. Then 57% of tickets, 99% cash on the under, but it's not moving towards the under. My first thought was these teams both hit lefties hard. And I kind of was focusing on that. And my very first instinct was, I think this will go over early. Dodgers 254, 765 OPS versus lefties. Giants 244, 751 OPS. Slatsy letting us know that Mookie Betts 7 for 13 with 2 homers versus Wood. But then I started thinking about the way these pitchers have been throwing. Tyler Anderson's not allowed to run over his last 3 starts, totaling 19 innings. Now 11-1, 2.61 ERA, 0.99 WHIP. Been very good on the road as well. And it's coming off a 13-0 win at Colorado. Another one of my angles when I initially liked the over was I thought that was a pretty emotional game probably for Tyler. He was drafted by the Rockies, had the great rookie season, looked like he was going to be, and he was a first-round pick for the Rockies, looked like he was going to be a big part of this organization moving forward. And he had a couple bad years before he was basically DFA'd, bounced around the league, couldn't be picked up by anyone, went to the Pirates, was traded at the deadline to the Mariners, and then he's been so good this year for the Dodgers, and he showed everybody why. Alex Wood on the other side, coming off a nice home start. And I know that and JP says, you think Noah Syndergaard's wearing an Angel jersey tonight? I don't. Well, I hope we see pictures of him in a Blue Jays jersey here, because we all remember the R.A. Dickey trade up here and despise it. He should have been a Blue Jay, but whatever. His career's not been that good. So Dodgers bullpen being so good, Giants bullpen being so bad. Shed some light on this spot. Pistol Pete, Dodgers, Giants.
I don't know. I believe we still have Nutflesh out in the comment section. Whatever he says on this game, that is my opinion. I have no real opinion on this one. Obviously, Tyler Anderson has been awesome. Obviously, the Giants in general have been a team that you want to fade, but after the big win yesterday, not exactly sure. Alex Wood has also been good in July. This is another game where line movement might put me in on a certain play, but as of right now, it's definitely a pass for me. I'm not seeing any particular value any which way. Would love to know what Nutflesh Allen thinks about this one. And late line move might be kind of telling here as well.
Yeah, it just doesn't all. I'm just a little surprised that all this money would be coming in on the under and line wouldn't be moving. If I saw some movement, I would. JP says the real Wood is going to show up tonight, and he is laughing. Not a fan of Alex Wood. Okay, let's review all action, see what we're adding, and then put the parlays together. First off, Viper MB is on the Braves -1.5. He's on these Dodgers -1 and the Astros -1.5. Dabby Cab's on the Dodgers team total over 4.5 at +112. He's on the Blue Jays first 5 -0.5 at +105, and the Padres first 5 -1 at -110. Pistol Pete gets his card started with the Rockies first 5 team total under 1.5. That's the Darvish Feltner spot. We did not move on game 2. Pete is on the under 7.5 in Reds Marlins. Brewers Pirates, we stayed off. Pete moved on the first 5 under 4.5 in Mets Washington and the no-run first inning at -119. Yanks -1 I thought about, and I'm still thinking about. Diamondbacks, Guardians, we are off. Loshak's on the Rays first 5 at +129. Gaussman versus Rasmussen. I wonder if you think that. And then we have spreadsheet play today on the Blue Jays. We have Turnsies play today on the Blue Jays. I'm very nervous about this.
Don't tell me, Jim. I think I'm on the wrong side. I just made it official to make it interesting because I did bet it, but I think I'm on the wrong side there.
I was looking at the under, personally. El Dorado Custodian moved over on overnight. He moved on the Cards -1.5 at +135. The Reds +115. Cleveland -1.5 at +165. The Nats +240. And the Nats over 8.5 for El Dorado Custodian. So Hosmer has rejected the San Diego Washington deal. So that's still all over the place. Hosmer has rejected that deal. Thank you for letting us know there, Dan. Okay, Phillies, Braves, we had no move. I get my card started with this Tigers-Twins game. First 5 over and first 5 Tigers. Loshak's on the Tigers' first 5 team total over 1.5 at -139 and the first 5 over 4.5 at -128. Then Loshak's on the first 5 under 4.5 on Cubs Cardinals, and that's the same look as Taint play of the day. Taint play of the day going for its 8th straight win, and the Pimp Slap play of the day is the first 5 plus a half on the Cubbies. Then I'm moving with a bet that correlates with Loshak's on the Rangers -1 at +121. I'm on the Rangers first 5. I'm going to move on Spencer Howard first 5 and Fade Lyles on the road. Red Sox, Astros, we are off. Royals, White Sox off. A's, Angels off. Dodgers, Giants off. So not a lot of late action.
You know what, though, Jim?
On the board for me at all. Yeah, my man.
I'm thinking about this. I just bet it. You can throw on White Sox -1, -116 for me officially. White Sox -1, -116 for me. The Royals, they're a big win against the Yankees. Then yesterday, I thought it was a good spot to fade them. They won by 1 run. I don't love Giolito, but I don't love Keller either. I'll take one more time. I'll go back to a well to fade the White Sox. If Nutflush Allen says the Royals are tired, that's good. That's enough for me. I'm ready to add that into my handicapping calculations here.
I'm going to have to take another look at this card. I thought some things would illuminate in some games that I wanted to attack, which did not, which is fine. Coin is on the Padres game 1 under 7.5. And he's on the Nats under 8.5 and Houston under 8. Oh, and the Atlanta Philly under 8.5 as well. Interesting. Okay. Jack Jenkins says Dodgers do it again. Jay Peasy says Twitter's reporting the deal is done does not include Hosmer. Wow. And the deal is done. Okay, the deal is done. Okay. Will not include Hosmer, and the deal is done. All right, Pete, you said that you would put together a 3-team parlay for the squad. I'd like to track it here. And then we're both going to put our best bet in a 2-game parlay, and that's the one I'm tracking. So which would you like to start with?
All right. I think I'm a believer more and more in the White Sox in tonight's game. Obviously, -1 line is a combined line, so we'll just go with the White Sox money line for leg one. You can throw that one in there, Jimmy the Bag.
Okay, is this for your three-way?
Yeah.
Okay,
Someone requested a three-way parlay, so for me, so I'll give it to him. Why not, right?
Okay, yeah, White Sox money line at what number?
I don't know. Whatever you got at your book, you can't.
Okay, I'll do the line shopping. You keep rolling.
I mean, for line shopping, that's the thing with parlays. You can't line shop. You got to bet them all at one book. But
We'll do a Pinnacle. We'll do Pinnacle.
Well, you can't do parlays at Pinnacle like that. So, but I don't think you can. But yeah, whatever you got. I don't mean to.
Yeah, we can do a money line parlay.
They let you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So you're -163 to start.
Sure. And then yeah, I'm not going to do team totals. I'm just going to stick to first five or full game sides and totals. So we'll put the White Sox on there, White Sox money line. Then what else do we got here? What else do we got here? We got let's see. Geez, wow. You know what? I'll take. I think we can put on Mets Washington first 5 under. We can make that leg number 2. DeGrom coming back. Okay. And then got to have a third leg. Jeez, I don't know. I kind of like Houston, but maybe not. I do like Texas, but not to put it a parlay, man. That's pushing it a little bit. And then that first 5 over with Detroit, Minnesota. I do like that one, but I don't want it to be like 3-zip or 4-zip Detroit in the first 5. And very tempting to think of Detroit first 5. You know what? In the parlay, let's I don't know, man. Yeah, Minnesota's so good. Let's a third, man. Parlays are so friggin' tough. You need 3 locks, and of course, there's no locks. That's why parlays are so friggin' tough. But I'm thinking about putting Detroit first 5 as a big money line in there for these dudes. But then again, if the taint play is and it's sticky in St. Louis, which can be good for offense, but maybe it'll just be a lethargic game. Let's put Cubs St. Louis first 5 under as the third leg.
All right, let's do that. So they've dropped a bunch of games from the board at Pinnacle, so unfortunately. So I'm not going to use that site to do this, but we'll do Bet365. New York Mets. Oh shit! Here we go. New York Mets, Washington first 5 is your next one. I like this first 5 under. We don't have 4.5 here. Should we pay? It was 4.5, right? Damn it. Should we pay for the 4.5?
No.
Okay, under 4 at 100. Okay, 100. And then the final one was the Cubs, St. Louis, first 5 under as well. And let's grab that one. Okay, so I am going to see how much better once these lines come up on Pinnacle, how much better that the number will be. But under 4.5, -115. All right, there's the Pistol Pete Loshak parlay of the day. White Sox money line -170. Mets Washington first 5 under. You can get 4 at even money or pay for the 4.5. And Chicago St. Louis first 5 under 4.5. Pete, it is time for us to put in our best bets into a 2-game parlay that I will be tracking. What would you like?
Okay. You can throw on White Sox money line for me.
White Sox money line. So Pete is on White Sox -170. And my spot on this will be that New York Mets Washington first 5 under 4.5. Damn. It was -115 when you gave it out at my book, and now it's down to fucking 4 at +100. Damn it.
I guess that's just because even though everyone knew Soto was going to be traded, they can't factor that in fully until it actually happens. So that's why.
I guess you're right, yeah.
I mean,
okay. I will move. Mine will be the Rangers first 5. New York or Texas Rangers, first 5. Rangers first 5. So that will be our parlay And the Rangers first five's at -120. Okay.
JPZ says Cubs are not winning tonight, and Tease says Happy Tuesday. Shout out to you, Tease.
Nice to see you, Tease. All right, Pete, my man, you are in Caesar's Palace. I know Tease is on his way to Vegas to hang with you guys. What is the plan now, Pistol Pete, for you in Las Vegas?
I don't know. We'll text. We'll see what happens. I got some chips. I got some free play chips. I still gotta do. Maybe I'll put in a few bets for today. I haven't put in any ticket bets. I got some tickets. I got a cash here. I got a bottle of wine over there. I got some turkey sandwiches. I got fucking I don't know, Jim. It's gonna involve all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got some water, some bottled water.
Yeah.
Some hazelnut mocha coffee, a lot of shit going on here, Jim. Chips. I played Let It Ride because I don't like table games because it's negative EV, but I got free play chips, so I had to play them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'll give it up. It was fun playing Let It Ride in the middle of Caesar's Palace. So we still got a few $100 in free play chips. I'm gonna do that because Caesar's credits the airfare. I got a credit for the airfare in free play chips.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, shout out to Caesars for I know overall they're fleecing us and the public, but it was nice to get some freebies. You know what I mean? The sport, the new betting app in New York is nice. You get freebies and shit, and it was fun to have them. So shout out to Caesars Palace. Shout out to you. Thanks for the freebies, man.
Chase White wants to have a drink with you in Vegas. I do know that the boys will be at the Orleans. That is the headquarters, the Orleans. And man, I wish I was there with you, Pete. God, but I cherish these Tuesdays that we share together. Both of us are just a taint hair out of the black. I'm 209 and 191, 52.3% down, 0.3 units. ROI 0.08%. I would like to hit the black badly for our show tomorrow. And then Loshak 53 and 44, 54.6%, just down 1.16 units. ROI minus 1.20%. Coming off 5-4 winning day. Let's get it. AOD says smash the plane. He wants you to smash the plane.
I totally forgot about that. We got the fucking turkey sandwiches. We got the chips. We got the drink tickets. Totally forgot about the planes we're going to be smashing. Throw that one in there. Let's see some other comments here. Chase White says, please have a drink with me in Vegas. Come to Pepper's concert with me on Saturday. I'm leaving tomorrow, Chase White. I would, but my flight out is tomorrow. AJ says, try the Caesars buffet. It's amazing. Okay, I will. Oh, Tease, here we go. Pete, head to Caesars Sportsbook and play Liberty first quarter for tonight. Okay, does Caesars have first quarter lines? I hope they do. I'm not sure. I hope they do. I wasn't betting WNBA here, but I will definitely bet that. I will head to Caesars Sportsbook and play the Liberty first quarter. That's a blind tale of Tease. Alex Gagnon says you need some sardines, buddy. Okay, I'll look for that. Maybe look at that in the gift shop. I'll go into the gift shop here and be like, you guys got any sardines? And they'll be like,
I think sardines I would vouch for. I would not go to the Caesars buffet though. It'll slow you down.
Okay. If they say no, I'm sorry, we don't have sardines, I'll be like, excuse me, I'm Diamond Elite. Excuse me, you don't have sardines? And they'll be like, I try to pull the Diamond Elite card as much as I can, Jimmy the Bag. It's very common here, though.
As you should.
Yeah.
I love it. Abel says Bacchanal buffet is awesome. I will not go to any buffets in Vegas. It's just I gotta stay. I can't slow down, man. I don't need the meat sweats at 3:00. I
do this. I go. Excuse me, I am Diamond Elite. Give me what I want now. And about half the time they give it.
I respect it very much. That is our show for today. Tomorrow we have Moose Money Bets making his Betting with the Bag debut. I'm very excited to be working with him. He will be on our show tomorrow. But on behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, we can't do it without you. Thank you guys for your support. The Gas Report, Andrew G, Paco Healy, Dennis Garcia, Christopher Comentini, Abel A, Tease, Matty Ice, Roger That, the Sean Murphy Journal, AOD, James S, Chase White, Joey Marinaccio, Alex Gagnon, B-Lab 69 says, Pete, you convinced me to put on the White Sox money line together with my pick on the no-run first inning in the Nationals Mets game. JPC on the Cards money line. Much love to JPC, Ricardo Gutierrez, all you guys. On behalf of Pistol Pete, Loshak, and myself, have a giant day. And if you're in Vegas, go hang with our guy. And the meeting place for Ragu and Tease and Dami Gunricci is the Orleans. Pete, any last words before we put a bow on this?
If anyone from Caesars is watching right now, I'm Diamond Elite. If I ask for something, give it to me and in a timely manner. Thank you very much. Diamond Elite.